Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with American Vineyard Magazine, reporting to you here today with Michael Miller from the California Association of Wine Grape Growers. They've been doing a lot of great work and supporting and helping to draft and bills and things that are going to support us, at the Capitol and in the nation. Wanted to talk specifically about a tax credit for composting. Our grape growers get, there's been so much focus on, hey, we've already done all these sustainability efforts and we often don't get the credit for it, and so that's what all these certifications have been in place for, so that we can get credit, right? But we're talking about financial credit, and that's something that's really needed in a time like this when growers, we want to go green as much as we can, but it's kind of hard to go green when you're in the red, financially speaking. So, Michael, tell us about this compost credit bill.
Sure. So we're here in Lodi at the Sustainability Summit, important event talking about climate change and what we can do to fight climate change in the vineyards and what we do in making wine. So it's an important conference, and part of our conversation in COG is to look at how do we help our growers to take the efforts that are necessary to sequester carbon, to fight climate change, to improve soil health, to do that work in the vineyard that is good for the grape. It's also good for the environment, good for fighting climate change. It's good for everybody. So what we recognize at COG is that we're facing a difficult time right now in the wine industry, and some growers are looking at the short term. How do I get through the year? How do I find a buyer for my grapes? What am I going to do? When you're in that situation, looking at the long term of sustainability is just a luxury that some growers just don't have because they just can't afford it in the short term. So what we're doing is we're sponsoring legislation, and we're doing it with the environmental support. A lot of environmental groups are wanting to do this as well. So it's a partnership between agriculture and environmentalists, which is an interesting thing to watch. The dynamics of that are kind of cool, frankly. So what we're doing is to create a dollar-for-dollar tax credit. So when you apply compost in your vineyard, you can get approved through CDFA, and you would get automatic tax credit on your income tax return. And that would be for your corporate income tax return or your personal income tax, however your business is organized. It doesn't matter. And it's a refundable tax credit, meaning even if you don't owe taxes, you still get that money. So it's not that you have to reduce your tax liability with a tax credit. You will get that money back regardless of your tax status. And we know that when you put compost into the vineyard, you have an immediate carbon sequestration benefit, especially if the compost is mixed with biochar. So we know that there are incredible benefits to fighting climate change, as well as to increase yields and a healthier vineyard. So it's a win-win for everybody. And the bill's going through the legislature. So far, it's got bipartisan support in two committees of the Senate. It's going to be heard at Appropriations next, and then to the Senate floor. So we're doing pretty well right now with this legislation. And like I said, we have support from agricultural groups as well as environmentalists, and that's why it's gotten such bipartisan support in both of the policy committee hearings so far. So far, so good. Crossing our fingers, but we're doing the fight.
Well, awesome. We really appreciate the update there and the constant efforts that you make at the California Association of Wine Grape Growers. This is one bill that we hope to see passed. So thank you. Read more about these things in American Vineyard Magazine. I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.